That was a good one.
Close.
Welcome to the Luck We Had International Edition.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
The first, Lena, so now you have to talk with a British accent the entire time you are over in England, so.
I'm not going to say a single word. Actually, people love the American accent here. Or they don't love it, but they're just fascinated by it. Every time I talk, someone stops in their tracks. Are you American?
That's so funny. Do you have, is there a lot of, like, kids from your school that are, like, in England for this, like, I don't even know, what is it, study abroad or whatever?
Yeah, in England, yeah. I have like 6 friends in London right now. So I was actually there this last weekend, and then I'm going there again tomorrow, which is why we could only record this day.
Mm-hmm. Where are you, not to dox yourself, but like where?
I'm like in the, well, I'm not going to dox myself. So I'm like in the Midlands,
Gotcha.
Near Leicester, like the middle of the country.
Okay, cool.
And there's only one other person from my university here.
You have to go to Manchester and relive all the old Dan and Phil days.
No, right? I was thinking about that. I'm not super close to Manchester, but close enough. I wanted to go to Wales and go see a Wrexham game, but I feel like that's going to be impossible to get tickets to.
Yeah, apparently they're really hard to get tickets to.
Yeah.
Are they just so popular now because of the boys?
Probably.
They're also just have a devoted like
fan base,
like hometown fan base.
Yeah, they've got like the town like owns the team. The town loves the team.
Yeah. But when I was in London, there was an Arsenal match that night or something. So everybody getting off the train behind me was like already piss ass drunk and chanting. It was like,
that's awesome.
I think it was like 7 p.m. I was like, no, not even the tube, like the train, like the national train.
That's even better. That's really funny.
There's a Wrexham game going on right now, I think. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think
my
you're
parents
right.
are going to be in the UK in April. They're taking their big trip in April. So
tell them to come see me.
Oh my god, link up.
Yeah, tell them to come see me. I'll take them to the pub. I'll buy them around. Like,
hell
yes.
Yeah. Dude, your parents would love that. Like, are you joking?
Yeah.
I love Amanda's parents. They're the best. Like, me and her mom one morning just spent like an hour just like talking. She's great. I love your mom.
Eating pancakes, just talking.
Yeah, making me a cup of coffee.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Luck We Had a Shameless Recap podcast. It's the international edition because we're not all in the States anymore.
No more.
we're global.
We're global.
We're global. We're taking over.
We are your global hosts. My name is Amanda.
I'm Evan.
And I'm Lena.
I posted a video on TikTok the other day talking about Grey's Anatomy, and somebody commented on it. I was listening to this wondering where have I heard that voice, and then I remembered I listened to your podcast like on a loop. I was like, hello?
That's really funny.
I love it. God, this one, season 5 is so fucking good, guys. I like when I did the notes for this was like, God damn it, this episode is so good.
Mm-hmm.
This one is
really good.
Very good.
Like we are big enough to admit that there are episodes of Shameless that are bad, actually. This isn't one of them.
I feel like this one, I always forget that this one is so good, and then the next one in comparison feels like filler to me.
Yeah.
509 feels like total filler to me. But I'm sure when I rewatch it for the podcast, I'm going to be like, no, wait, why did I say that? Like, like this is
we always find little things. We find little things to love about the episodes.
Yeah.
Because this one is 508 Uncle Carl. We're almost, I'll probably have this edited and up by the time that is the anniversary of this episode, March 8th, 2015.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
And that'll be 8 years.
8 years.
Wow.
8 years since season 5, guys. God.
Where the time goes, because this was around when I got into the show.
Oh yeah,
I
think,
damn.
Because I watched the end of season 5 live.
Oh
wow! Juicy
I know it was an
evil
time to join.
Hard.
Speaking of 8 years ago, freaking Isadore just like posted the other day that it was her 10-year anniversary of Svetlana.
Oh my God, yeah,
I was
in
like,
their
that's
little
crazy.
Purple dress.
I know.
Yeah, her purple number.
She was so teeny tiny. She was a teeny tiny lady.
She was really small. How old is she?
Well, it was before she had her first kid.
She was in her 20s when she started, right?
Mm-hmm.
Must
but
have
then
been. Yeah.
she was pregnant for real in season 5.
Yeah.
But she was not pregnant for real in season 4.
No,
No.
that was
No.
a fake baby bump. You
No,
could
the
tell.
surrogacy they wrote in because she was just actually pregnant.
I
Yeah.
love just being able to tell when they like put a baby bump on person and when they're actually pregnant, because you can actually feel like you can actually see like the weight and like the bearing down of actually being pregnant versus someone just having like a 5-pound freaking like
Yeah.
stuffing on their
Yeah.
tummies.
Well, it also, I feel like you can also tell just based on how it's like worked into the plot
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. Like if they're pregnant at like a really, really inconvenient time, then it makes sense. Although when V got pregnant, wasn't Shanola pregnant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with her kids.
Mhm.
Or her first.
I
think.
wonder if that was just like they were like they probably ended up wanting to give V a baby. And
Yeah,
they're
they were probably like,
"Perfect
it's
timing."
time. Yeah.
Well, it's like in Friends, they had finally established that Monica couldn't have kids, and then Courtney Cox got pregnant, and they had to hide the pregnancy.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
they're like, we just
Yeah.
went through
I
the
remember
whole
seeing
thing.
like an editing thing of that of just like every shot was like only like a center
Well, and they're
shot
like-
or like
yeah,
she was
they're, like,
holding something in front of herself at all times.
Big bag, pillow on the lap. I saw something like Brooklyn Nine-Nine when when Melissa Fumero was pregnant for real, they had like Amy, fake baby, in jail, like her going undercover in jail as like a pregnant prisoner. She was
Yeah.
really pregnant. And then, but before that, like before she really, really started to show, they would just have like dress her in these like loose ass outfits, have her hold like huge tote bags and stuff. And
They
like,
did that?
honestly, I didn't even notice because I feel like it's such an Amy thing to do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think they did that for, I always freaking forget the actress's name, but the girl who played Lily on How I Met Your Mother. I think
Oh, yeah.
They did,
That's-
yeah.
she was really pregnant, actually pregnant for one, and then there was another one where they just like didn't film a close-up shot for her for like literally like
Yeah.
a whole season because she
Yeah.
was
That's the
pregnant.
sitcom staple.
Mhm.
It's the sitcom staple of
They
like big
love it.
bag, plant, like laundry
The
basket.
tote bag
Yeah.
at an angle. Was it? I
Yeah.
feel like there's like a specific like screenshot. I know we're getting so sidetracked, but there's like a specific
But I love
screenshot of like this one sitcom where like the lady has like a big bag and she's just like turning at every screen. And for some reason, I cannot remember what TV show it was. Because it was a show I watched that I didn't realize until afterwards that I was like, oh, she was pregnant.
One show that
Girl?
made up.
No, I didn't
I was
watch.
gonna
I
say,
didn't watch
well,
New
one
Girl.
show that made up like the perfect excuse, but the actress was not pregnant, was Jess's jury duty storyline in New Girl.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Wait, she wasn't pregnant? I thought that's why they did that storyline.
I don't think so. I don't think Zoe Deschanel has kids.
No,
I'm gonna
I
look
think
it
she
up.
has kids.
She's married to a property brother.
Oh my god, she does have kids.
Yeah, I think it's with the property brother. Yeah, she has a kid. That's why the jury duty. That's
Yeah,
why
but
Megan Fox
I-
came on the show.
I thought they got married like kind of recently. She had a previous husband.
Okay.
It was the one it was the one she did the singing with. They had like that album together.
She might have had two previous husbands. What are the property brothers' names?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I saw this one thing when they were like, it was like someone
Yeah, no,
talking about.
they started dating.
How long?
Wait. Yeah, they started dating in 2020.
Oh,
And so she's this feels like Zoe Deschanel T. No, she has two ex-husbands.
Yeah.
so damn,
Um,
third marriage.
Well, she's not married to him, I don't
Oh.
think.
Property brother, she isn't married to.
I don't think she is. No, they're just dating.
Anyway, we love when shows write in pregnancies.
We love the lore.
And in this episode, maybe this episode was so good because it's women everywhere. Because it was written, speaking of Grey's Anatomy, written by Christopher Noff. Fourth of 8 Shameless episodes. She wrote 503, May I Trim Your Hedges. 303, May I Trim Your Hedges. 309, Frank the Plumber. 502, I'm the Liver. This one. 603, The F Word. 703, Home Sweet Homeless Shelter. 708, You Sold Me the Laundromat, remember?
Ah, good episode.
803, God Bless Her Rotting Soul.
All of her episodes are so undeniably funny.
Which one?
Yeah.
What was
Like-
803?
Like
Lena?
she is a comedian. 803, God bless her rotting soul. Was this
Sounds
with
like a
Is that the
Monica
one
thing.
when they're digging
with
up
the
Monica?
meth when they dig? Yeah,
Okay.
I think when the guy's like, "Where's
Where's my
well?" Because
meth?
802 is where's my meth.
Yeah.
So I think it's 803. It's the aftermath of what happens there. Yeah,
That episode is so good. Those
So good.
Season 8, juicy.
kind of slayed.
Juicy.
Kind of slayed for the first part
Amanda,
at
I'm
least.
so
And then
excited for
season 9, not good.
Not good.
Not good.
Everyone is like too
They were just, I think they were just burnt out. And then Emmy was like, I'm leaving. And Cameron was like, I am also leaving, but then I am coming back.
But Krista Vernoff was also a writer on Station 19 in Grey's Anatomy. I think she just left. She was also a producer on those shows. I have so many things to say about the Meredith Grey last Grey's Anatomy episode, but you could see them on my TikTok. Those were my thoughts. This episode was directed by Wendy Stanzler. This is her first of 2 Shameless episodes she directs, which are this one and 605 Refugees. She also directed 3 episodes of Glee, 4 episodes of Parks and Rec, 1 episode of Dispatches from Elsewhere, and many other 1-episode runs and other shows.
She's prolific.
Women.
We love women. Women everywhere. And in this episode.
Wait. Sorry.
What?
So sorry before we start. Jeremy Allen White SAG Award?
SAG Award!
I forgot. I was like, what else do we need to talk about?
I didn't know the SAG Awards were on until you texted me that.
Until they happened and he won.
Yes.
And I was like, wait, what?
Juicy arms,
Also, I
dude.
guess Answer from our Dumois, Addison, and Jeremy rumor that went around. He thanked her in his speech again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously Dumois is full of shit. We already knew that. But that's just kind of confirmation that they are full of shit.
And I feel like his publicity team isn't one of those to be like, all right, shout out your wife so everyone stops talking about to see if you guys are together or not. Like, homeboy's just married and he's not a social internet person. Of course you don't know anything about his goddamn life. We never have and we never will.
I also can't with that Variety video thing that they did with him and the mesh tank top opening beers.
The beers, yeah.
With the beer with the lighter.
He's never been a super chronically online personality, so it's I mean, he has a publicist, but I can't imagine that he gets into a lot of controversy.
Yeah, he's never had this much
attention.
Attention.
No, yeah, even at the height of Shameless, it was never as much of a tour de force as The Bear is right now.
Yeah, I've never seen Jeremy ever talked about as much as he is now. I feel like Cameron and Noel mostly got a lot of the recognition when it was popular because they're the easier, internet niche couple to have, a fan base. But I'm glad for Jeremy, but, exactly, we don't know nothing about him and we never will.
I love it. I think Steve Howey is doing pretty well, too.
He's got that new TV show.
Yeah,
and Shanola has her show.
Layla just keeps posting pictures of Noel with their cat.
So happy for them, ? Emmy was just on a talk show I saw, I think, kind of recently. She looked great. And anybody else? No clue what they're doing at all.
I think
Bill Macy is up to something, I think.
Is he?
Oh, what's her face is on the Connors still.
Well, yeah, but she's always been on
Ethan's releasing music soon, I saw.
Oh, okay.
Ethan. What's Christian Isaiah up to?
Being a baddie.
Because he was the realest. He was the realest cast member on that show, and he was only there for a couple years. So
literally, he was there. Oh, you know what? He was doing that podcast, that spooky creepypasta podcast with Cole Sprouts. It's
okay.
I forget what it's called.
Christian. Well, he is also still a baby. I feel like we always forget that. He's 13.
Yeah, it was. I forget what it was called, but I heard it got a lot of awards and stuff like that. So it's based off of I think a creepypasta or a creepy Reddit story, and then they turned it into a novel podcast. I don't know how those work, but it's basically a story. A storybook where there's actors and famous people playing and voicing the characters. But I think Cole Sprouse is the narrator.
Misha Collins has a narrative podcast that called Bridgewater.
Oh, nice. That's really cool.
But yeah, that was our cast minute. I'm done interrupting.
Yeah. All right, guys. I forgot we have an episode.
That was our What's the Cast Up to minute.
Okay. So in this episode, the synopsis is Gus tells Fiona he's going on tour. Carl is asked to run drugs to Indiana. Frank wants to get revenge on Sammy. Lip convinces Kev to sell drugs at the dorms. And Ian refuses to accept his diagnosis.
I thought it was Michigan. Is it Indiana?
I think it's Indiana. The synopsis said Indiana.
Oh, that's weird. I thought it was Michigan because every time I watch the episode, I'm like, oh my god, Michigan, I know her.
I copy and pasted this from IMDb, so the synopsis might just be wrong.
I bet it was just wrong.
Yeah. The previously on is done by Mickey walking down the block going, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you this time what you missed on Shameless. Next time, I'll break both of your fucking kneecaps, okay?
He's so funny because he's not intimidating.
Doesn't he do the, like, at the end, like, the wave off?
Yeah.
The limp wrist wave off.
Yeah, real.
Previously on Shameless, Fiona admitted to cheating on her husband. Lip didn't do his financial aid and is underwater at school. Ian had to go to the hospital and it freaked Mickey the fuck out. Kev and V are separating. Svetlana moved in and is performing wifely duties on Kev. Sammy has taken over the Gallagher's house and shot Frank. She's gone certifiable.
Yay.
Baddie, but I hate her.
That, like, slay,
Baddie
but also, okay.
In this episode, Ian wakes up in the hospital that he was in the last episode, okay, yellow lighting, and he's pacing around his room. Everybody's waking up.
Morning.
Frank wakes up in the boys' bedroom at the Gallagher house, and Sammy comes in extra cheery, saying that Ian is coming home today. Carl tells Frank that he should just kill Sammy, but Frank doesn't want to go to jail. And he also educates Carl on the difference between a skank bitch and a fucking psychopath, and Sammy is a fucking psychopath.
True that.
And then Carl leaves to deal drugs on a Saturday morning.
His hustle.
With them khakis on.
Meanwhile, Ian and Amanda are in, Lip. Meanwhile, Lip and Amanda are in the middle of fucking, like, fully nude on his bed in his room. When her lesbian roommate comes banging on the dorm room door, because we are once again villainizing a lesbian.
Isn't she like,
Isn't
I
Amanda
love
like
you?
Isn't Amanda
you.
like I let her go down on me like once or like a couple
Yeah.
times
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we made out and now she's
and
like
now
obsessed
she's in
with me.
love
It's
with
like,
me. Yeah.
well, it's like, Amanda, why'd you agree to that then?
Yeah.
why did you say yes then? And
It's
then
literally her
you're
fault.
surprised when she has feelings for you? Like I know she was kind of acting like a little crazy knocking on the door like that, but come on.
Because it's the lesbian's fault, obviously.
Always.
Obviously, of course.
Amanda and Lip agree to let Lip... Amanda agrees to let... God, did I have a stroke? Amanda agrees to let Lip use her car if she can hide under his bed. And then they keep fucking because she hasn't come yet. Which, I love that. It's iconic. He goes to stop and be like, okay, let's go on with their day. She's like, no. I haven't come yet. Finish.
She's everything.
Oh, Debbie. Okay. She's learning moves in the boxing gym. She's picking up some new moves. She's picturing Monica's face as she beats the bag because she's worried about Ian and all the fucked up genes Monica has passed to him. Derek compares like the genes they got from Monica for bipolar disorder to the fact that his dad has hemorrhoids and now he has hemorrhoids.
That is not genetic, Derek.
No.
That is not
Okay.
genetic. You just need to improve your diet.
Above the alibi, V wakes up in the converted rub and tug and she tries to masturbate, but then she sees a rat and throws her vibrator at it.
Girl, better sanitize that.
I'm sure she will. She's sex positive.
She is.
But the rat has like a trap caught on its tail and is just running around.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't there a scene where they like they're washing their sex toys in the dishwasher?
Washing their sex toys in the dishwasher?
I think there's a scene where like Kev is like loading their sex toys in the dishwasher or something. I don't know. I just had a vague memory.
Oh, it might be early. I feel like it's Ethel is unloading the dishwasher and she starts unloading some of the toys and Kev like freaks out or something.
Oh my
I
god.
love my tiny brain.
I don't know how I pulled that way out of the back brain, but it
I
just
love your
appeared.
tiny brain.
Oh my god. But yeah, she throws her vibrator at the rat and she's like up on the bed, just away from the rat. Meanwhile, Carl is at work talking to his boss. He's being promoted from drug slinger to drug runner. He's being sent to Flint, Michigan.
Oh, so you're right.
Yeah. Lip and Fiona meet in the waiting room of the hospital to pick Ian up, and they're having like Monica flashbacks. And he asks, "You still married?" And she goes, "I'm not sure." And she says, "Gus is silent, and I'm not good with silence." And Lip says that's because silence in our house usually means someone stopped breathing.
Real.
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 Gus is apparently going on tour for a while with his band, and Fiona asks Lip about tuition, and he's like, "I got an idea. Don't worry about it." And she's like, "Is this an idea that can land you in jail?" And he said, "I have an idea."
Didn't he just like shrug? Like, but it was really silly.
Yeah.
He was like, she was like, I don't want to know.
Then they go back, they get called back to say they can meet up with Ian, and Lip goes, I thought Mickey'd be here. And Fiona goes, yeah, I didn't. What the fuck? He was here last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was pretty shaken up. I mean, I don't know why she's acting mad, but like I would also assume that he maybe wasn't gonna come.
But like they make Fiona hate Mickey for no reason. Like he showed up, he was there, and he was shaken by it. And then she's like, I didn't expect him to come back. Girl, what?
Yeah, I think maybe she's kind of assuming the worst, and she's just kind of assuming that now that it's like finally real to him, he's gonna bail.
Ugh.
Because I mean, like other people have, you know, with them. So I feel like that's kind of what she's projecting onto him. But then once he sticks around, she warms back up to him.
What we could have had if the writers didn't make Fiona hate Mickey for no reason. They could have been besties. Okay. Mickey is at home in bed smoking. He gets out of remember the house is like empty. I think Iggy might still be there occasionally. Mickey gets out of bed to get a 6-pack of beer and gets back in bed. He's sad. He's
so
upset.
sad.
And he's got nobody. Like, he's devastated and he's got nobody.
And it's so dark and gloomy in that house. They make you feel his sadness.
In the psychiatrist's office, Fiona and Lip get Ian's bipolar diagnosis, and she tells them that he's resisting it and they have to carefully supervise him with his meds. And they have to get him to the clinic in a week to get him a proper prescription.
Don't they... Okay, isn't it like they only give, since they're kind of like a flight risk or whatever with it, they only give them like a week's prescription at a time?
Yeah. They're like, here's a week's worth, get him to a clinic within a week to get a proper prescription.
Yeah, but then even the prescription, like the proper prescription, I think they have to pick it up more frequently because the meds are just like more, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That might not be true. I might be lying.
Because, like, I don't know if, like, an antipsychotic is a controlled substance. Like, I don't know.
But I do know, doesn't he take it, like, 3 times a day or something?
Yeah.
His specific
It's like breakfast,
meds,
lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, his specific meds he takes 3 times a day.
Yeah, there's a lot of them for just a week's worth of pills.
Yeah. Because we'll see what he does with them later.
Yeah. So Ian comes in the room, and Cam actually does look like better from the last couple of episodes. He looks more rested and less strung out, like he's got more color in his cheeks.
Okay, makeup department.
I know, he looks aware. He was not aware in the last, 3 episodes.
Yeah. Kev comes up to the pumping station and checks in with the ladies, and sees the same rat that V saw earlier, and has the same reaction that V had. He jumps up on a chair and screams like a little girl. Big scary Kev jumps up on a chair because of the rat. And I want to say the pace of this episode is really fucking wild. Like we're only 10 minutes in to the episode and we've had 15 scenes.
I love it. Let's keep it moving.
No, I love a fast-paced episode. Sometimes it just gets too slow.
Okay, in the Gallagher kitchen, Sammy is dressing Frank's gunshot wound, which has become infected.
It's nasty. It's
been
gnarly
like a
looking.
day.
Yeah.
It's been it's been like 2 days. Like, what?
She explains to Chucky that she shot Frank to teach him fatherly responsibilities, that she's training him like a dog who won't stop shitting on the floor.
I think that's a good metaphor for Frank. They smell the same.
True.
They do. Ian comes home with Fiona and Lip and Debbie, Debbie and Liam run up to him and hug him, and Debbie goes, totally Monica. Girl, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, because doesn't he just immediately, he's like, I'm gonna go upstairs, I'm tired. Like, I want to go lay down.
He doesn't reciprocate the hug.
He's like, totally Monica. Bitch!
Shut the fuck up.
And so Fiona says she's moving back in, and Sammy loses her shit, because if Fiona moves back into the house, which she has a fucking name on the lease, you fucking psychopath bitch. And then Sammy's like, well, if Fiona moves back, I'm gonna get kicked out. Yeah. Yes, you are.
Because this isn't your house.
You're squatting right now, girlfriend.
She tries to scare Fiona about Gus going on the road and cheating on her.
That's so funny, because she's like, I already did it first. So.
Yeah. And then Frank is like, "What? Hold on, married? You're married." He can't wrap his head around the fact that Fiona's married. He's just finding out this information.
Isn't he mad that he didn't get invited?
Yeah.
He's like,
real
and I wasn't
pissed.
even there. Like,
Don't worry, you'll be at the next one. Fiona gives Debbie Ian's meds and the instructions on how he needs to take them.
why would she give those to a 14-year-old? I know she has to go to work, but like, why?
Yeah.
Would she trust a 14-year-old with that?
Yeah,
I would trust Sammy over that, or over
Yeah.
Debbie with that. I mean, maybe not, but it's just like, I don't know. And then she gets like kind of surprised when things go wrong. She doesn't get mad at Debbie or anything, but
she leaves them unattended because Debbie does wrong later in the episode.
Debbie does leave them unattended.
Yeah. Shameless continues its subtle Dunkin' Donuts product placement with the travel mug in Fiona's hand.
Elite.
Like, this show is so subtly sponsored by Dunkin'. It's so funny.
So elite. Duncan's the best.
God, I love the subtle Pop-Tart brand every now and then too.
Right, because this is a family that does not buy name brand food.
Yeah, because they had the frosted toasties, which are the Aldi name brand, which is what I eat, and then they've had like Pop-Tarts, and I was like, you guys did not splurge an extra $2 for these strawberry Pop-Tarts.
Like, be for real. There's only like 8 in there.
Lip goes to the alibi to tell Kev that he's like, listen, I need money fast for school. I want to do the ice cream truck without the ice cream. I live in a dorm room that is a forever ice cream truck. Let's go sell weed in my dorm room.
Yeah, because doesn't Kev still grow, but he only grows enough for like, he only has like 2
Personal
plants or
use.
something, or 3 plants. Yeah, just for like
Yeah.
them and a couple friends. After the grow house got a little crazy.
Yeah. Because Kev even resists. He's like, oh man, I don't know. I got kids. And Lip's like, yeah, you need money, don't you? And Kev's like, well, you got me there. You got the fucking point, actually. He agrees, and he hands the bar over to Kermit. He's like, hey, Kermit, can you hold down the bar till V gets in for the day? And Kermit is nervous, but says yes. Kermit's like, fucking sure.
I would trust Kermit. I would.
Well,
I would
see
trust
what
Kermit. I would
happens.
trust Kermit over Tommy any day.
But we do see what
Any
happens
day.
at the end of the episode with Kermit being in charge.
Carl comes into the room with a sleeping Ian, and he asks Ian, what does it feel like to be crazy? And then Carl admits, he's like, well, I dream about flying and about pushing people in front of the train. And Ian's like, that's not this. That's not what this is.
I love when Carl is like genuinely like innocent and like interested in things, because like even though he is like dumb as bricks, like he's always always asking questions. I love him. What a great man.
He's inquisitive. He's stupid, but he's inquisitive. V and Fiona finally connect out front while V is walking the girls, and she tells Fiona about her date with not that Eddie Murphy because she's not sure if she will go. And then Shameless brings in even more lesbians to villainize and make the bad guys of the neighborhood.
Woo.
Because remember how that plot next door to the Gallaghers was sold? It was bought by
What's their
lesbians.
name? Lisa and Lisa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one, the one of the Lisas is like she's from like an old like either Disney or Nickelodeon show or something. I forget
I'll
her
look real quick.
name.
Keep talking. I'll look real quick.
The dark brown haired Lisa, the
Yeah.
taller one.
The one that she speaks to Fiona and says that they're turning the plot next door into a community garden. And if you want to buy into it so that you can also be a part of the community garden, it'll be a simple $2,000 down payment.
Jesus.
And also, can you get rid of your pool? Will you get rid of your pool, please? And Fiona and V are like, okay, yeah, go fuck yourself. And they just walk off. In the house, Frank is once again observing Chucky, just watching him. Yeah?
She was in Wizards of Waverly Place for 1 episode. She was Mother Nature.
Oh my god.
I feel like she was in like Ned's Declassified or something.
I don't see anything. There was a recast though. Like, so Lisa
What's that
won.
Lisa's name? Yeah, there was a
Jenica
recast, you're right.
Berger,
Is that
and
dark-haired or
she's the
blonde?
taller one. And then there was a recast from Lily Holloman to Lee Stark.
What's the girl's name? Jenna what?
Jenica, Jenica, Berger, Gere.
Sorry.
Okay.
Getting so sidetracked right now.
Well, but
Okay,
I'm also
bring us
so
back.
curious. Yeah.
So in the house, Frank is once again observing Chucky, just watching him. And Carl tries to get Frank to go with him on the drug run, but Sammy's like, no, actually, I have plans for Frank today. And she leaves the room and tells Carl to and Frank tells Carl, put the drugs on Chucky. Because Carl, you look like a criminal, but no cop is going to stop Chucky.
And he was smart as fuck to say that, because that's like
Yeah.
kind of true. I feel
Yeah.
like because okay, doesn't Frank call in a tip or something?
He does. Yeah, we see that later.
I think if Frank had not called in that tip, they would not have gotten caught.
Yeah.
No, yeah, because they wouldn't have brought in the sniffers.
No, exactly.
All right, and now we're going into the part where Mickey is ignoring Ian's calls, and I have things to say. This is the show trying to paint Mickey as a bad boyfriend who's ignoring Ian in his hour of need, but Mickey in the last week has been cheated on, had his baby stolen by his boyfriend having a manic break, had to check said boyfriend into the hospital for a 72-hour hold, visited that boyfriend, and got looked past like he didn't even exist when he was trying so hard to be there for him, to the point of kicking Svetlana and their kid out of the house because Ian is the one he wanted there, and he is alone in that house with no support system. Give a bitch a break!
Yeah, I don't know if it's them trying to like purposefully depict him as like a bad partner. I think it's more just like this is true to Mickey's character, is to like kind of hide and drink and smoke until he is like drawn out by something, you know? Because he is the type to like retreat from conflict, like interpersonal conflict, not like violence. And this has happened many times before until someone, usually Ian, actually goes to him and snaps him out of it. I mean, it was Mandy in season 4, and then it's Debbie this episode. Like, he always just needs somebody to walk in and be like, hey, you know what the right thing to do is. Stop fucking pitying yourself.
That's true. That's true. I get very defensive.
But the way
over my
that they
boy.
talk about him as a character, the way that other characters talk about him, and the way that people like in production sometimes talk about him, definitely does lean toward that way.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is very in line with his characterization and his habits. He does tend to do this.
And Ian calls Mickey. Mickey ignores the call while Mickey is like playing with an airsoft gun. At work, we see Sean for the first time in like 3 episodes, I think. And Fiona is filling him in on everything with Ian and Gus. And she says she keeps waiting for the fight and fuck. And he's like, what? She's like, yeah, you know, you have a really big fight and then you fuck and then you're over it. And
Poor girl.
Sean's like,
yeah.
huh?
Sean's like, that's not a
excuse
thing
me?
that normal people do.
Well, Sean's
tells
like, that sounds kind of good to me. Not gonna lie. Do you want to hook
He
up
tells
later?
her that silence from a man like Gus usually means the relationship is over. And he advises her, if you would like to keep this relationship, get on your knees and beg him like a dog not to go. And she calls him a dick and gets back to work.
But why was
He's
he
right.
kind of right? Yeah, I'm like, but why was he right though? Because Fiona, you are the one who fucked up.
You fucked up so bad.
You broke the number 1 rule of fucking
You did
up.
the worst thing possible, and you're
That
like,
you
oh
could
my
do."
oh my god, poor me.
After
Why isn't
marrying
he
the
talking to
guy.
me? You cheated on him. Ugh.
Of course he's hurt.
Not only did you cheat on him, you then proceeded to go to his apartment, spend the night with him, and have sex with him, and then tell him the next day.
Yeah.
At least she
Girl.
told him. But like, my God.
Also, it's been 2 days. At home, Carl makes Chucky get in the van while he straps him up with drugs. And he's like, why are you taping horse to my tummy? Chucky asks. And Carl says, because I'm your uncle and you're my niece, and you do what I say.
He's so funny.
Inside, Debbie is texting Derek like the stupid fucking teenager she is, while Ian wanders downstairs and fucks with all of his meds. Debbie, do your fucking job!
Girl, you had one responsibility.
Why didn't she just take them into her room with her or something?
She's
Or keep
stupid.
them on the table in front of her, like on your person. Like,
Yeah. I don't know.
Too
But
busy texting.
dude, this reminds
be
me of
texting.
when she was in season 4, when she used to text Maddie, and then it would be like that one text that they showed where it was like, what's your favorite band? And then hers is like Marina and the Diamonds, and he's like, mine is Nine Inch Nails.
Oh my god.
I remember that. No, because Maddie is such a Nine Inch Nails guy.
She likes the most basic kind of guy. In the dorms, Lip lets Kev into a dorm where a kid had tried to kill himself. Because there are too many people in and out of Lip's room. So he's like, nobody comes in this room. I'm the only one with a key. A kid tried to kill himself in here, so now nobody lives here.
Isn't the noose still hanging from the ceiling or
No,
something?
they say that they like make a joke that he was like he tried to like hang himself with a belt from like the vent and he was too like fat.
He was
so
too fat.
Just, like,
yeah,
broke
and
it.
it broke, and it broke, and they said that.
Yeah. He literally Lip just nonchalant. He was like, yeah, he was too big, so he like snapped it and just broke it.
Oh my god.
And like I think like Kev goes, he was like, did he survive? And he was like, just some bruising. It's so bad. I hate the show.
So Kev misses his girls, and he's like, you mind if I call Svet, check in on them? And Lip's like, I don't care. So Svet is doing jazzercise with Yiv strapped to her chest while she's drinking a beer.
It's so cute.
And he asks her to help cover the bar with V while she has the babies. And Svet's like, that's dumb, I'll just babysit. And then hangs up before he can respond.
I love her. She's a productive woman. She knows what she wants and can do what she wants.
She's a fucking icon. Yeah.
But like, yeah. But no one tells V about this.
Nope.
No, they don't. V is not in on the plan.
That's fine.
Kev and Lip start rolling joints to hit the frats. And then at the bus station, Chucky and Carl go inside and sit down. And the literal second Carl sees a drug-sniffing dog, he ditches Chucky, who is just alone with all the heroin. And a fun fact I learned from IMDb, the trivia section, is real drug-sniffing dogs won't bark when they found drugs. They'll find the drugs and then quietly sit next to them. They'll like sit in the spot.
Or they like
don't wanna bring
alert
awareness.
their yeah.
Yeah, because I think
it's so funny.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say Chucky just sitting there going, Uncle Carl, Uncle Carl. All the time.
In not the most recent episode of The Last of Us, but The Last of Us, the last episode of that one, they had a dog that could smell if you were infected or not, and that was cool. And they did exactly that. The dog would like sit in front if they were infected.
Yeah, because I guess in real life that would like scare somebody off if they had a dog just sitting there.
The dog
or if it's a
and
public place as well, like they don't want to cause a disturbance. They want to like address it as quietly as possible.
Subtly, just be like, that guy.
We go to the hospital. Frank and Sammy are waiting for Frank to get checked out for his infected arm, and the doctor calls him frequent flyer Frank. Oh, and in the beginning of the scene, Frank is coming back like from the bathroom. He's like, sorry, had to take a shit. And the doctor asks, how did you get shot? And Sammy lies about him cleaning his gun, and the doctor's like, okay, that sounds impossible, but all right.
That is so funny also because I feel like Frank legally cannot have a gun, ? I don't think he's a felon, but I think he's got enough on his back. I think he's got enough. Is he a felon?
I think so.
He's not a felon.
He's not a felon, but I think he's got enough on his background check that they would probably reject him.
Fiona is the only felon in the family.
I can't
until
legally
Ian
own a gun.
Yeah.
Because I have because I have my medical marijuana card.
Oh.
In the state of Maryland, if you have your card, you cannot own a firearm. And I was like, that's weird, but like I wasn't looking to buy a gun
I wasn't
anytime
planning
soon,
on it, but
ever.
But now that I know I can't, I'm kind of mad.
Now that I can't, I think I'm gonna get one.
We're getting politically charged. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, everybody.
I love that.
Jokes.
Actually, one of the things I love about England is that there are no guns.
Yep.
Rock and roll.
In the ball house, V is there because it's her time with the girls. So she's sleeping in the bed and she wakes up and to someone going down on her. She thinks it's Kev. It's not. It's Svetlana because Svetlana is a good wife.
And like, I don't know. Is she okay? Listen, I know. Isn't she like basically sexually assaulting them?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want
to. I don't know. Like, yes,
like,
but
like with Kev, you could argue that there was like miscommunication between like what is wifely duties.
Mm-hmm.
But with V, straight up, she didn't know shit about shit.
Yeah.
But then they have a conversation.
Yeah.
And they're like fine with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like obviously, like it ends up being like talked about, and then like a two-person thing. But I don't know. When I first watched this episode, I was like, because
Yeah.
I feel like we've been in a situation and the tone's been very different and we've looked at this negatively. So I was just like,
Yeah.
come on, Shameless. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if I really find it like funny in
Yeah,
general.
not saying
like
funny.
their whole situation until they actually become like a throuple.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But like this whole like
'Cause-
weird situation, I don't know that I totally found funny in the first place, because to me it was like Kev cheating the first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. But she's like, why the fuck is Svetlana going down on me? And she goes, are you kidding? I'm not gay. And Svetlana goes, what is gay? This is not about love. This is about oral manipulation of sex organs for stress relief. No stress is good for bond with babies. Tongue is tongue, no? And like, I would watch 15 seasons of The Throuple, actually.
But like seeing like the gears in like V's head turn, she's like, you kind of making some
It's like,
points.
you make a
I
point. Well, and then
guess."
she's also like, did I mean it when I said I wasn't gay?
Yeah. She's like, you know what? I'm already halfway there. Just keep going. Like, okay. At college, Kev and Lip are selling to these frat bros, and Kev is having a blast having the college experience he never got.
Goals.
Yep. At home, Debbie is finally looking up from her fucking phone long enough to notice that all of Ian's meds are gone, you dumb bitch.
She's so stupid. She had one job. One job.
Meanwhile, Ian is outside being confronted by a friendly, quote-unquote, Karen, asking when are they going to take the pool down. And it's so funny. He's like, well, I'm coming down off some heavy lithium right now. Maybe in an hour or two.
It is so funny that she thought he would know shit about shit. Like she came up and she was like, this is the guy to talk to for the house. And it's like, that is a child.
Yeah.
That was a 17-year-old kid.
Who
And
is
he looked
into the
strung
distance.
out as fuck.
Like,
Like,
he looks so.
come on, Lisa. How bad do you want that pull down?
Debbie comes outside and confronts Ian about the pills. And she's like, all of your pills are gone. Did you swallow them? And he's like, no, I didn't swallow them. I flushed them. And she's like, what? Why did you do that? Because you weren't paying attention, Debbie. And he says the meds make him feel awful, like life isn't worth living. And he feels better knowing that they were gone.
Poor guy.
That is so sad.
Sammy and Frank are coming home from the hospital, and he commends how much she takes care of Chucky and how good of a mom she is, and that he finds it inspiring. And then she immediately gets a phone call that is clearly the police calling about Chucky. And we cut to the hospital. Remember back in season 3 when he's the one that called social services? This is
Yeah.
the same level of what the fuck, Frank.
This one felt kind of deserved though. Actually,
Not
poor
Chucky.
Actually, poor
Carl?
Chucky. Poor
Yeah.
Chucky, poor Carl. No, he probably figured that Carl would get away. But
Still,
but seriously, poor Chucky,
hit
that
was
he was
only-
innocent. He might be annoying,
Yeah.
but he was innocent. He was coerced.
obviously it's only to get back at Sammy. But I'm like, literally, Carl, like, that's a lot of drugs that Frank knew that was on them too. Like, come on,
Yeah.
boy.
Didn't they try
Yeah.
to get Chucky deemed unfit to stand trial? They tried.
Yeah,
He was
because he has
was
like no
mentally
IQ.
disabled. Yeah.
Yeah, because they gave him like an IQ test, and they're like, "Honey, you scored bad," and she's like, "That means great things, actually."
Like, that's so good. He was like, okay.
I know he's like watching like a video on the phone or something like that with like I forget, like their attorney, whatever. Anyways,
Okay. We cut to the hospital when Frank was allegedly taking a shit, but was actually calling in a tip about the drugs. And Sammy doesn't know this, but goes ballistic on the phone with the police. And then Frank, while she's busy, just like goes up to someone and bums the smoke off of them. And he's like, wow, that seems bad, that phone call. At work, Fiona is still talking through the Gus thing with Sean, and he says that it's complicated for him because he clearly still has feelings for her. And he tells her, stop sitting on your ass and make a decision. Tell him it's over and cut him loose, or fucking fight for him. Like, make up your fucking mind.
That's good advice.
it sucks that he was like pining over her, but he did kind of like give her a lot of reality checks.
Yeah, that's good advice. And I honestly do respect him for being like, I still have feelings for you, so take everything I say kind of with a grain of salt. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just being like,
Don't
just
do
so,
it for me.
Like I respect his honesty.
Yeah. Debbie interrupts all of this by coming in crying, like weeping.
Dramatic
Saying, I messed
ass.
everything up. I ruined everything.
Dude, Emma Kenny was a world-class crier. Actually, every time Debbie needed to cry, she delivered.
And she's like, it's all my fault. Yes, it is your fault, actually. This was your job to prevent from happening, and you didn't do it. And back at school, Lip counts up all the cash and tries to put a $6,000 payment towards his $13,000 balance. But the guy in the financial aid office is reluctant to take the payment in cash or a payment at all that isn't the whole balance. Which is supremely fucked. Like, colleges have payment plans. Like, why is this a fight that has to get fought?
The cash thing, I do get, though. But if that was the case, Lip could have just deposited the cash and gotten a check.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like, whatever.
He tells Lip, why don't you take a semester off and save your money and come back with your financial aid and some extra spending money? And then Jeremy delivers, babe.
SAG Award winner.
SAG Award winning Jeremy.
I don't know if he'll win an Emmy, but he probably could win an Emmy. We'll see what happens in The Bear season 2.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
He says if he leaves, he won't come back. That Ian was just diagnosed with bipolar disorder and not being home to help him is killing him. And that if Lip is not in school right now, if he goes home to help, he will never come back to school. That home life will eat him alive and not let him go. And he's right.
Like, shout out to Homeboy for being, like, aware of that, too. Because so many people don't know that, like... Well, like, I'm not saying, like, they don't know. Like, people don't know that, like... I don't know. They need to be somewhere versus where they think they should be.
And then the way it all just kind of, like, crumbled in front of us in season 6. Ugh!
Sad.
He makes a beautiful point. He's like, I've been told that if I stay at school and make something of myself, I can help my family in a real way. So I can't go home right now because I'll never come back here and do the thing that's supposed to actually help us. He's like, I'm going to keep showing up and making these payments. I'm going to count them out, and that'll be my part. And your part will be patience, I hope. I just need a little more time. He's given 1 week to come up with $7,000. We cut to Debbie and Fiona at a pharmacy trying to get Ian's meds refilled, but they don't have a prescription. And Fiona says to the woman, quote, I understand that is the official rule, but you know these meds are only written for people who do crazy shit like flush their meds down the toilet. So maybe you can refill these instead of giving us the official line.
I love the pharmacist here. Officially, I will go to jail if I do that.
Yeah. Like, that's so real.
But I also love her because you can tell she really, really does feel bad. She's like, shit, like, please just come back with the prescription and I will get it taken care of for you today.
Yeah. She's like, I will go to prison. Like, I can't do this for you. In bed at the ball house, V asks Svet when she fell in love with her kid. And Svet says, there is no falling. Before Yevgeny, I was selfish. Now I would die before I let him die. Simple. Complete. And V says she never made that change in her head mentally, but Kev did. And she hates him for making that change. And Svet explains that life is not simple. This or that, black or white, that she should be happy that Kev made the change, because if at least one of them didn't, that's how babies end up in dumpsters.
So true.
I do love them bonding as mothers. It's really nice.
I feel like the first time we see V actually connect with, like, another mother that isn't her own mother.
Yep. It's the only other mom in the show.
Yeah.
At the Gallagher house, Carl is afraid that his boss will kill him for this, but Frank thinks it's going to be okay. He's like,
why
no,
do you think
he'll
that?
understand.
Right? It's like,
dumb ass.
no, it'll be fine. Like, don't
He knows
worry.
how drugs work.
Well, because it's like, I don't know, someone went down for it, like, and it's not getting back. It's not getting back to his cartel. Like, whatever.
Fiona comes home with Liam and Debbie and says she's going to talk to Ian about his meds. He's sitting in the yard, staring off into space. And she comes up to him like, flushed your pills. You get that's a full Monica move, right? And he insists that he's not Monica. God, this is such a good scene. He says, I didn't slash my wrists over Thanksgiving dinner. I went for a drive. Fiona's like, you took a fucking baby. Mm-hmm. He's like, I took him for a drive. And yes, it was a really long drive, and I didn't plan ahead, but I didn't hurt that baby. I took care of that baby. I fed the baby. I sang to the baby. I love that baby.
Oh, he loves that baby so much.
So much that after season 6, we literally never hear about him with Yevgeny ever
Literally,
again.
He interacts with the baby once in season 7, and that is it. I mean, to be fair, Svetlana disappears, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he throws all of Fiona's failures back in her face. And it's like, they didn't permanently try to medicate you. And she's like, I went to prison. And he said, I did too. He's not Monica any more than she is. Yeah, because she's Frank.
Yeah, well, it's also like
Literally.
her thing was a substance abuse thing, and she does have to go to NA meetings and stuff.
Yeah, she's
like,
dealing with the repercussions from her actions.
and do drug tests and all that stuff. Like, it's different. You weren't on any drugs, Ian. And that was your problem.
Yeah.
Was you were not on drugs.
Inside, she walks in. She's like, hey, where is Debbie? And Frank's like, I don't know. I think she said she was going to buy drugs. Fiona's like, what? And you didn't
she just
stop
like take
her.
off down the street?
Yeah.
Doesn't she just start running?
Well, she stops. She goes out to find Debbie. She stomps out Frank's joint and she goes out to find Debbie, but she stops with V, and V's all dressed up for her date. And Fiona's like, don't fucking go on that date. If you fuck someone else, you and Kev are fucked forever. And she says, the two of you, I can't handle this if the two of you can't figure your shit out. And V says, go fix your own fucking marriage and stay out of mine.
It's so funny though, because like V's all dolled up, like so excited to greet Fiona, and Fiona's just is like immediately she's like, no, don't do it. And V's like, damn, all right.
Because she's like, I can't be your supportive friend anymore. I have to be real and honest with you.
Yeah, but V throws it right back at her. She's like, stay the fuck out of my marriage. Go deal with your own goddamn marriage.
They both said what they needed to say. They said it.
Fiona says fine, and then just starts running down the street. Just starts running. Go on to the only good thing Debbie does post season 4. She busts into the Milkovich house looking for Mickey and finds him naked playing a guitar that's not plugged into
He's
anything.
like playing along to like a song, like just he's like air guitaring with a guitar.
Yeah, he's like pretending that he is playing.
And his little booty cheeks, little booty cheeks popping
God.
God.
This scene's so sad but so funny.
She asks him to help her get Ian's meds, and he tries to get Iggy to help. But Iggy's like, you ever met anybody get high on lithium? No? That means I can't fucking get it.
I know, who's like, can you get these?
People get high on ketamine. Oh yeah, he's like, I could get you H, Special K, crack.
He's like, I'll take some fucking crack. He's like, you got money?
He's like, no.
Like, insane. You just want to do crack willy-nilly?
Yeah.
I know, he's so like, I don't know, like, I don't want to make fun.
But crack is just
Well,
crack is just coke though. To be
Yeah.
fair,
Yeah.
it would be different if he was like meth. Can I get some meth?
Debbie asks Mickey, when the fuck are you going to come see Ian? And she's like, did you break up or something? And he just says, I'm busy, Peppermint Patty. Go whine at someone who gives a shit. And so she cuts off his music and gives a pretty decent speech. I'm going to give her points for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, points.
She says, Frank used to drink like this. When Monica was around and they would fight, he would angry drink. It never worked, and he always came back to her. You can't drink him away, Mickey. It won't work.
And she
She's
just
like-
walks out.
and then
he's
she was
just-
like, and then she flipped her hair and walked out, and she dropped the mic.
and he goes back to air guitaring.
At her date, V is very clearly stalling going in, but she gets spotted by Eddie, who kisses her right away. And he's charming, like at first, and she says she actually can't do this. She's married. She has twins. And then she's like, I've got twins, Amy and Gemma.
At this
And he goes,
part.
hi, Amy. Hi, Gemma, and kisses her tits.
That part is
public.
so
Only Kev could do
funny. That part is so funny to me.
And she's like, what the fuck? And she leaves. At college, Kev is showing baby pictures off to the college girls who are rolling on the daddy issues. Absolutely loving it.
Doesn't he do the most like awesome whatever? He like walks drunk girls back to their dorms. That's just like what his job is now.
Yeah.
He's the
kind
rape
of.
walker.
He's the rape walker. Yeah, he just walks them back.
So Fiona runs all the way to Gus's house, and the band is packing up the van. The band who knows she cheated and is treating her like it. And she tells him that she knows he's a good guy and she's an asshole, but she doesn't want this to be over. She says she respects him and she misses him, and she just keeps wishing he was there with her during all of the bad shit days. And she's like, can I just have a couple of weeks to sort out Ian and get my shifts covered, and then I'll join you on tour.
You can't leave Ian like that.
And he's like, his face falls. It's so funny though, because he's like, you're not coming with us.
Also crazy of the band to like act like that when their literal lead singer is a cheater.
Yeah. Literally the first time
anybody remember Davis? Like,
yeah. With his live-in girlfriend.
Seriously.
Gus tells her coming on tour with him is a bad idea and that he needs to get out and think a little and that they both need time. And like he sort of leaves it like they're okay, but she leaves crying.
Yeah,
Dramatic
I mean, she knows
ass.
it's done. But it's also like, even if he had said yes, like, Fiona, you can't leave Ian like that. Like,
Cut
a
to
couple
Ian
weeks. Come on.
And plus, they're in like that, like a minivan, not like a tour van. Like there's
like a van.
A van. She's not fitting in there with like 5 other dudes. Fuck out of here.
Plus
and he
their
even
equipment.
says that. He even says that. He was like, we're gross dudes on the road. You're not coming with us.
Yeah. Cut to Ian in his Ophelia in the lake position, like surrounded by the leaves, like floating, like, you know, the famous art piece, Ophelia in the lake.
His era.
Yeah.
His Ophelia in the Lake era.
He's floating, fully clothed. Carl finds a toaster and throws it in. And Ian's like, you trying to give me shock therapy? Carl's like, yeah. He's like, you need to plug it in first.
He is too silly.
Carl is just trying to help. He's a little stupid, but he's trying to help. I just love that Ian is immediately like, you're trying to give me shock therapy. We join Debbie at the hospital. She's rocking back and forth on a bed, pretending to hallucinate knives. And she's trying to get lithium. She's like, I ran out of my lithium. I need my lithium. And the doctor's like, not falling for it.
I know, they're like, all right, I guess we're gonna have to admit you for a 48-hour psychiatric
She's
watch.
like,
and
what?
she's like, I'm not trying to kill myself. What are you talking about? I just need lithium.
But it's
And
like,
he, like,
an actual actual bipolar person would not be like, lithium, please. Like, can I get those? They would be like, I'm having the, like, slayest time ever. Or, like, I'm having a terrible time, but I'm not trusting you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, he says he's not going to prescribe her lithium. And, like, lithium's not a narcotic, is it? It's, like, I don't understand what the problem is. Like, just prescribe it
just
to
that
her.
she's faking. Especially because she's a minor. Like, you know.
It just seems, like, so hard to get a thing that, like, isn't a narcotic. Like, it's not a thing that people use to, like, sell. Like Iggy said, you can't sell it on the street.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
I don't know. I'm unsure, but maybe it's, like, there's not a lot of it. You know? Like,
Maybe.
it's expensive or it's difficult to make. Like, yeah, how it is with Adderall right now.
Yep. Lip and Fiona get home to a screaming house because they find out Chucky has been arrested, and Carl says it's not a big deal, he's only 10. And Sammy says, he's 13! He's just a little small for his age. And Debbie goes, you mean slow? Sammy's like, what? She's like, you said small, but I think you meant slow. And Sammy says, I meant what I said.
No, because she was
funny.
funny as fuck for that. She was hilarious.
She's like dead ass. She was like, I think you meant small.
Yeah.
I mean slow.
And then when Sammy, like, gets back at her, she, like, throws her hands up. She's like, whoop, okay, well, maybe I was wrong. Okay, Debbie, this episode only, you get a pass. Except that time that you fucked up in this episode. So Sammy asks Frank and Fiona for backup, and Frank says Carl should turn himself in. But Sammy already did that, because the cops are at the door, and now Carl is on the run.
They're so funny. They're like, out the back door! Go! Run!
And they're like, Sammy goes, he's right there. And the whole family goes, what the fuck, Sammy? This is not a family that calls the police on each other.
Homeboy bolts.
And you can see Ethan limping.
Yeah, but this isn't a family that calls the police on each other, because even if Carl had got off free, this would just be something that fueled beef for the rest of their lives. Like, it wouldn't be like a revenge type of thing. It would just be like a, well, he's not invited to my wedding. Yeah, he's not invited to my wedding now. Like, I'm pissed.
Like, you can see Ethan limping and running a little, because he broke his leg, last season?
Yeah.
But he's got got a limp when he's running.
It was this season.
Was it this season? Shit.
Yeah,
In the
it was the beginning of this season, because he was in the wheelchair.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, with the pool.
For a while. But, I mean, depending on how filming was, he might have just gotten his cast off or taken the boot off just for this scene or something.
I know, and they were like, all right, run.
How Cameron would do sometimes.
Yeah. The cops eventually corner him and catch him, and he yells, all right, don't shoot, I'm white.
Topical.
I love the shameless cliche of when they're like, they'll stop and be like, what is it? Like non-resisting, and then they'll just get fucking decked.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, all right, and then they'll just, like, the side shot of them getting bodied by a police officer, because then they slam his ass on the hood of the car.
Yeah. Carl gets arrested.
That shot, though, of all the cops surrounding him with the lights, that was cool as hell.
Yeah. It's a good chase scene. We cut to the alibi where Kermit has been defeated by the barflies. He's, like, crying in the corner. And,
He's, like, rocking
it's
back and
madhouse.
forth.
Because V never came to relieve him. She was busy fucking Svetlana all afternoon.
Dude, she forgot that the bar even existed. Well, I don't even think Kev called her.
No.
To be like, hey, can you go take over the bar? Like, I got tied up with something.
Because he just dipped in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Frank, who feels like on a win because of the Chucky thing, walks into the alibi and pours himself a whiskey and feeds one to the rat.
With your liver.
At the police station, all the Gallaghers are waiting for Carl and in like the lobby. And we go to Ian saying, I think this might be the end with Mickey. The diagnosis, even if I don't believe it, I'm pretty sure he does.
And they're all sitting there hearing that like, so we also believe it. Just so you know. Just so you know, this is not a safe space.
Fiona's like, it's all right, I ruined my marriage and I don't even have a diagnosis to pin it on. And they go, Gallaghers.
They use that excuse too much.
Take a shot, take a drink, something.
Yeah. Well, they say that being a Gallagher is a diagnosis now.
Blech. Shut up, guys.
Ian says that he missed them, and Fiona's like, don't worry, I'm moving home tonight. A cop comes out and says they're still questioning Carl, and they'll have to wait a couple hours. But Carl is a minor, so shouldn't he have his guardian in the room with him?
Not necessarily.
Yeah, I feel like not necessarily.
Not
especially
necessarily.
with the crime that he committed.
Yeah.
But, like, he's a minor. He should have his lawyer or his guardian in the room with him.
I think he has to ask.
Yeah, because doesn't it
which is why they tell
like,
him to ask for, which is why they start banging on the door and telling him to ask for
and
a
then that's
lawyer.
when he was like,
I want a fucking lawyer, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
I want a fucking lawyer, motherfucker. Yeah, it's so funny. They all jump up. Even Ian, who had been like out of it and floating this whole episode, when they all jump up simultaneously and run to the door and go, don't say shit! Ask for a lawyer!
I love the shot though, because it's like panning backwards from them in the window.
It's like through the window into the room
through
with
the
Carl.
door, and then the door closes, and he's like, bitch.
It's like a little bit of a parallel of them watching Ian walk into the hospital. It's them up against the window in the police station.
It's such a good scene. I love that scene.
It's the table full of heroin, too.
I know.
Like, what a fucking lawyer, motherfucker.
Oh my god, he put so much on Chucky. That was crazy.
We go to V at the house, giving the girls a bath and calling Kev, who is butt-ass naked in bed with a co-ed.
Damn.
Does he? I don't think he ever tells her, right?
Eventually.
He does.
I think they make him go get tested in another episode.
Yeah.
Because he's like, how many? And he's like, a couple. And she gets like pissed.
With the rape walker thing, he would just fuck the girls when they got back.
Yeah.
Because they would ask him to walk them home under that cover, but it was really just to get them back to their dorm.
But then girls started calling him when they weren't drunk just to fuck him too.
Yeah.
In another episode, a girl.
I don't remember any of this.
There's like another episode.
We'll get
like,
to it.
I probably like the next episode or whatever. There's a girl who calls him and he's like, rape walker here. And she's like, hey. And then just like takes off her top. And he's like, all right. And then walks in.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We cut to a soft scene of Ian in bed. We're like against the wall watching him. And the door opens and it's Mickey. And Mickey goes, hey, sorry I'm late. And he crawls into bed with him.
And he takes off his shoes and takes off his hoodie.
He gets in bed and he kisses Ian on the forehead. And they are together. They aren't Frank and Monica. And they're going to make it.
In that tiny twin bed.
Yes.
And like, it's like Ian takes a breath for the first time in the whole episode when Mickey crawls into bed with him.
And it's just like this. I forget how the song goes, but it's like, ooh, and it's like very soft, and he's like caressing his face. It's so sweet. It's so sweet.
And the song is the song is Falling Together by the Mason Brothers. And then we cut to credits. And the post-credit scene is Carl and Chucky in adjoining cells. And it's Chucky going, "Hey, Uncle Carl, I didn't know we were going to be neighbors. Can you tell me a story?"
What a baddie.
Next time on Shameless, Carl is going to court. Sammy is on the fucking hunt. Ian is off his meds and having delusions. And Lip is starting to fuck a hot, mean MILF professor.
Yes!
Oh, Helene.
The entrance of Helene. All right. That's the episode. What did we think?
What a episode. I say that about every goddamn episode.
I think it was another really well-balanced one.
Season 5 just does it. Season 5 just knows what they're freaking doing.
Well, and it was funny, but it wasn't like overwhelmingly funny, like to the point where it wasn't serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
really liked it.
And
me too.
Everyone's like stories didn't feel like that rushed, even though we got very, very minimal Kevin V this episode.
But they made a lot of big strides.
Yeah. They started a lot of subplots within their relationship in this episode. Like a lot. And then I don't know. Carl, I love this era.
Well, I thought specifically that scene of V and Svet in bed talking about being a mother was like really, really good for the development.
Yeah,
of this
definitely.
Storyline.
I feel like it cracks something open for V.
Yeah, I think that was what they needed. Was
they humanized Svetlana for the first time.
Yeah, the introduction of Svet into Kevin V's storyline like really, really helped, I think.
Yeah, because I feel like even though we knew a lot of like personal backstory about Svetlana, I feel like this was the start of Svetlana being like a person, not just a subplot.
Not just Mickey's baby mama or a source of conflict. She like became her own character.
I will be excited to enjoy more Svetlana scenes is what I basically am excited about, is because this is when she becomes a main character, and I'm excited for that. Because I enjoy Svetlana so much.
Yeah. She's a good character. I really like her.
I hate, they did the shameless twist, which they always villainized a good, like, consecutive character towards the end of their showtime, but...
Because every woman who got forced off this show said, "Hey, can you have me shirtless less?" And they went, "Go fuck yourself." And then they wrote her off.
Yep.
Don't you know this is shameless?
Yep. But great episode.
But I really liked it. I'm really excited that we're in the back half, that we're like barreling towards the end of season 5. And then we're going to get into unfounded territory, and I'm excited about it.
So excited.
Me and Evan have the upper hand on this one.
I know, dude.
We're like, ha 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 ha.
I know you guys have even started to bring up stuff that I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know. It's always so funny having like a me and Lena conversation.
I think you're going to be entertained, though.
Yeah, like, because don't get me wrong,
I do
boring.
think once you get past the like lack of Mickey, I think season 6 and 7 are actually great seasons.
Because I feel like with the lack of Mickey, they give you a little bit with certain characters that you actually end up caring more about people you didn't feel like you used to care about, which is nice in a way, because there's a lot of new characters you'll introduce that they actually don't shamelessify them, and they're just genuine human beings, and it's nice to have those in that show for a little bit. But the lack of Mickey does get exhausting, and then obviously when they bring him back and then just kind of like humiliate him in a way with writing him and making him leave 2 times before they bring him back for good.
I am not ready to meet Caleb or Trevor. I'm not ready for either of those.
I was going to say the lack of Mickey is interesting because you get to see Ian on his own until he meets Caleb, and then it's kind of exhausting.
I think you'll hate Caleb, you'll enjoy Trevor, but you'll be annoyed by Trevor.
You will be mad about the way the show treats Trevor because you may or may not find Trevor annoying.
Yeah.
And you will be mad that the show wrote him to be annoying.
Yeah, because don't get me wrong, he's annoying. But I think he brings a lot to Ian's character development that we would have never seen before, and I think it really helped Ian's development towards the end.
Yeah, because then when Ian takes what he learns from Trevor back to Mickey,
I
think it's good. It's good for the both of them and for their relationship that you saw progress.
Yeah. So Amanda, I'm very interested to see your thoughts.
Because Ian was so different. I mean, you saw in like season 10 and 11, and he is so different in just the way he handles things.
Yeah, and you'll understand why, because someone
he's different.
reality checked his ass.
No, for real.
So funny. I also think this is the fastest we've turned an episode around in a few months. Look at us go.
Oh damn, yeah, really? Because I feel like
Recorded 2 episodes in the same month.
hitting the 140s and the time length too. We actually cut it short today too.
I know, and I know that it's time for it to end because I have to pee so bad. That's the international symbol of our podcast.
I know, I have to, like,
rock
go to
and
bed.
roll. What time is it for you, Lena?
It's almost 10, but I have to get up early tomorrow.
You're taking the train.
Let's wrap it all up because
All
Lena,
right.
it's nighttime in Lena's time now.
Sleepy time.
Email us, follow us, all the things. Oh, they're all listed.
The socials are on the website in the links. You'll find us,
In
guys.
the description,
We're there.
Thank you for listening. And we'll be back when we're back for the rest of season 5.
And we're still going to be international the next time we come back, too.
We sure
Yep,
are.
for
We're
a
going to be
while.
international for a couple of months.
Yep. All right. I love you guys.
Love
It's
you
nice to
all.
talk to you again.
Bye-bye.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.